And the man took his finger, put his finger in my daddy's face, and he said, if you niggas don't leave here, we're gonna lock you up. Now get on away from here.
There was a conflict between myself and the nation. They declared war on me. I got bomb threats.
The media never understood or even cared about what they were doing to my family.
Sometimes when I laid on that rock and felt so all alone, I wondered, is there a God?
So you got to learn how to have a press conference, but then sit down and have a self-conference.
I have never used profanity in my life, and this girl used compound profane words to me.
And then when my sister dropped, oh man, I got angry at God.
The scroll gives you an opportunity to look beyond the lips of the prophet into the heart and the fears and the feet of the prophet.
He said to me, son, you are not only a good preacher and pastor, but you are a man.
The doctor tells you that you're going to deliver, but we're not quite sure if the child is going to live.
Sometimes our greatest messages are never in our lips. It's in our struggle, it's in our pain, it's in our problems. Our human fallacies is what connects us to people, and I think the opportunity to let people know that you're just a guy like anybody else, a person.
You're preserving a piece and a slice of our history as Africans in the North American diaspora that probably nobody else is doing.
Everything I've been through makes up Wes Morgan, and that's why I can sit here and be so effective in people's lives, because I'm not telling you something I read. I'm telling you something that I'm living. This is my life.
Sometimes your soul craves for something that your mind has not been taught to want.
There were some times that I cried all night long.
That was real. It happened. I'm telling you what happened.
All he's been around was vision and dreams.
Actually, I was really looking for sympathy.
I've gone through times of discouragement.
I have had people literally take their clothes off.
But I broke the rules. I broke the rules and went lower than I was supposed to go.
Our culture rewards fame however you get it.
I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
And when he made that announcement,
I saw the negative side of my people.
And so he makes it a still shot instead of a moving picture.
And he said, now nigga, what you gonna do?
Grade F, and put an F in red letters. An F is an F in black ink. I don't know why the man had to put it in red ink, but F in red ink.
When God has his hand upon a person, and he regulates that person's life, when your time comes, there's nothing in the world that can stop that time.
I have gone to the morgues with mothers to identify the bodies of their children.
Everything in my environment and in my home life showed me what it is that I needed to do. I just wasn't in the right area at that time to really evolve and to mature.
Where there's no family affection, where there is no storge, there is complete imbalance in the human environment and the human experience.
Her mother and father both died of AIDS, and the family kept her locked up in a closet.
My own daughter had gotten pregnant and was not married, and she was a teenager, was, for me, traumatic.
Jean, thus saith the Lord. The Lord said, your sickness is not unto death. Man, the house went up.
And I was convicted by the power of his message, and I knew that reconciliation was the Christian thing.
But now I'm 55 years old. How do you start all over at 55?
After I buried him, I walked in my church with tears rolling down my face, and I stood in the pulpit, and I usually sing a fast song called I'll Praise You. But this Sunday I walked in and I just started singing those words. I never would have made it.
I now don't believe that you should marry for love. And I teach that to my marriage ministry.
just to spend time and to look at the man that taught me about life and watching him die, teaching me how to die, had innumerable moments that I'll never forget.
Television ministry was exploding. We were in demand all across the world, and I was building the largest facility I had ever built, $45 million facility. And my mother had a brain tumor that later developed into Alzheimer's, and she was going down while the building was going up, and I couldn't stop either one of them.